Scariest tribes, paradise lost. Did you know that there are over 5,000 indigenous tribes in the world? Most of them live modern lifestyles while maintaining some of the older aspects of their cultures. However, some tribes haven't been integrated into modern society, even now when mankind has started exploring parts of the universe outside of Earth. Some of these tribes still have cultural practices that will make your heart hammer within your chest. In this video, we will look at some of these tribes and reveal information on how they live without modern comforts, like processed food and automobiles. The Korowai Tribe. In 1969, the first man landed on the moon, but the Korowai Tribe of West Papua, Indonesia, had no way of knowing this. In fact, up until the late 1970s, members of this tribe had no idea that other people existed around the world. On March 17 through 18, 1974, Western scientists made their first known contact with a band of Western korowai. The mission was led by community developer Mark Grundhofer, geographer Robert Mitten, and anthropologist Peter Van Arsdale. The team encountered 30 men on the south bank of the Upper Eilanden River, 12 miles east of its confluence with the Kolf River and 10 miles north of the Becking River. The tribe has about 3,000 members who build their homes by fastening them to the crown of trees 5 to 10 meters high. Also, since 1980, tribe members have moved into recently opened villages like Yaniruma, Mu, and Basman. The Korowai are horticulturists who engage in shifting agriculture, as well as hunter-gatherers. They are quite good at fishing and hunting. Additionally, they engage in a few gender-specific activities, such as religious ceremonies only performed by male adults. Since the early 1990s, some Korowai have made a modest living by working with travel agencies to market tours to the Korowai region. A few years after their discovery, a few Christian missionaries settled among the tribe. While some tribe members converted to Christianity, the majority still practice their traditional religion, in which they pay homage to the red-headed creator, god Gimigi. A Korowai clan must hold a Sago Grub festival once in a lifetime to ritually promote prosperity and fertility. They offer domesticated pigs as sacrifices to the ancestors' spirits during difficult times. The Asaro Tribe. The Asaro Tribe of Papua New Guinea is also known as the Mudmen, because they dress in a unique costume of mud masks. They live close to Goroka, a community in Papua New Guinea's Eastern Highlands province. Their masks have odd shapes, including horns and sideways lips. Other features include long or extremely short ears that stoop up at the top or go down to the chin. The Asaro Mudmen have some interesting stories about their origin and why they wear the masks. According to one story, they were defeated by a rival tribe and had to run into the Asaro River, where they met a man who gave them eyes to kill. They waited until dusk before trying to flee, but the person who received the eyes was caught. The opponent assumed he was a spirit when they saw him emerge from the muddy banks, drenched in the dirt. Because most Papua New Guinean tribes have strong aversions to spirits, the Asaro was able to escape as the enemy fled in terror. The opposing tribesmen were still present when they entered the settlement to investigate what had happened. The enemies fled back to their village and organized a special ceremony to fend off the ghosts because they were so frightened. According to folklore, the residents of Papua New Guinea believed that the mud from the Asaro River was poisonous. Hence, the mudmen were unable to conceal their faces. Instead of dousing their faces with this feared poison, they created masks out of heated rocks and waterfall water. The Moken Tribe. Marvel's Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, introduced us to the Talokan people who lived underwater. The Moken tribe of the Mergui archipelago in Myanmar and Thailand may not be able to live underwater, but their special ability is quite impressive. Moken children are known to go freediving to collect sea cucumbers and clams for food. When they do this, they can see clearly under the water without sustaining eye irritation. The tribe has about 3,000 members who maintain semi-nomadic lifestyles based on the sea. This lifestyle earned them the title Sea Gypsies, even though they have no relations with the original Romani Gypsies. The governments of both Myanmar and Thailand have tried to include them in modern culture, but with little success. The Moken tribe uses basic tools like nets and spears to scavenge for food. This method lets them get the food they need with less environmental impact than those who practice more intense forms of subsistence. Additionally, their regular mobility in kin groups of 2 to 10 families avoids overuse of the land, and permits the land to rest. They also firmly hold to the belief that natural resources cannot be privately owned, but rather are something to which the entire society has full access. They routinely offer meals to supernatural creatures as part of their egalitarian culture and ancestor worship. The only form of religion practiced by the Moken is ancestor worship. North Sentinelese. One of the more hostile tribes, the Sentinelese, lives on North Sentinel Island in India. The islanders have refused to interact with the outside world, and on some occasions, they've killed people who went into their territory. The Indian government made North Sentinel Island a tribal reserve in 1956, and travel was banned within 3 miles of its coast. The government also keeps a continuous armed patrol in the nearby waters to stop outside invasions. No one knows the population of the tribe, but it's estimated to be somewhere between 50 and 500. The first recorded mention of the island was in 1771, when an East India Company vessel called the Diligent saw what crew members described as a multitude of lights upon the shore, but the crew members didn't investigate further. The first recorded contact with the islanders was in 1880. Maurice Vidal Portman, a Royal Navy officer, led a group of armed Europeans and Andamanese trackers. The islanders retreated into the tree line and remained hidden for several days. Portman's team captured 6 people who couldn't escape. These were an elderly man, a woman, and 4 children. The man and woman fell ill and died shortly after. When the children fell ill too, Portman hurriedly sent them back to the island along with many gifts. In 1867, some islanders attacked crew members of a merchant vessel, Nineveh, which had wrecked close to the island. In 1991, Indian anthropologists recorded the first peaceful contact with the islanders. The anthropologists offered gifts to the islanders who were interested in iron scraps. In 2018, they were visited by John Allen Chow, an American Christian missionary. He visited on multiple occasions and offered them gifts. Sometimes their reactions showed amusement, other times they were hostile. On the 18th of November, 2018, the fisherman who helped him get to the island saw the islanders dragging Chow's body. The Indian officials could not recover the body. The Surrey Tribe. The Surrey Tribe lives in southwestern Ethiopia, but some groups live in parts of South Sudan. Their population is about 32,000 as of 2016. The Surrey people enjoy a form of stick fighting known as sagine, or ceremonial dueling. It is extremely significant while looking for a wife, and is a rite of passage for young men and gives considerable status. These battles are fiercely competitive and can cause severe harm and occasionally even death. Most young ladies have their bottom teeth extracted and their bottom lips pierced and stretched to accommodate the insertion of a clay lip plate. They do this to make themselves more attractive for marriage. Some ladies have expanded their lips to accommodate plates up to 16 inches in diameter, but recently, girls are increasingly refraining from this practice as they become more exposed to other cultures. Married women in each household take care of most domestic duties, including cooking, caring for the kids, and farming their land. They can use their profits as they want. The young males, who are known as tegai, oversee guarding and herding the livestock. The major decision makers are the younger elders, or rora. An initiation rite is required to join the rora, and it takes place every 20 to 30 years. Elders test the young males during this initiation, and they may even lash them until they bleed. The Zala Tribe. The Korowai are Brazilian natives known to reside in the western Amazon basin. The group refers to themselves as Zala. Brazilian explorer Sidney Pozuelo and journalist Paul Raphael made their first contact with the tribe in October 1996. Their investigation is largely responsible for what the outside world knows about this group. Although they have frequently engaged in violent interactions with the local populations, the Korowai are among the last people on Earth to live near modern culture. They speak the language Panawan and usually work around 5 hours a day. The Zala don't follow any known religious or spiritual traditions, yet they do periodically perform infanticide for unknown reasons. The Korowai have historically killed trespassers on their land. The most recent incident included 3 lumbermen who were killed by Korowai warriors in 2000 close to the native reservation. Brazilian agency FUNAI assists the korobo by providing them with contemporary vaccinations and conducting frequent follow-ups. To discourage logging in the region, FUNAI also created a national park that includes the korobo's territory. To protect their way of existence, FUNAI seeks to stop contemporary culture from meeting the tribe in the future. The Akutsu Tribe. We've seen hidden tribes from South America to Africa and Asia. These tribes have populations between a few hundred to a few thousand, but for the Akutsu, extinction might be imminent as they currently don't have as many people as you do fingers on your hands. The Akutsu are the indigenous people of Rondônia, Brazil. They live on territory that is part of the Rio Omere indigenous area, a small indigenous territory also home to some Kanoe. There are currently only 3 members of the Akutsu tribe. Most of the tribe members were killed by Brazilian cattle farmers in the 1980s, and when FUNAI first contacted them in 1995, there were only 7 survivors. The Akutsu are mostly hunter-gatherers who occasionally engage in small-scale cultivation to supplement their nutrition. Because their reserve serves as a haven for animals whose habitats have been devastated by nearby deforestation, the game is exceptionally abundant there. The Akutsu engage in a variety of shamanic rituals and have a material culture typical of the area. Only tribe members speak the Akutsu language, which no outsider fully understands. Since it is doubtful that the Akutsu language or culture will endure after their deaths, many commentators have labeled them as genocide victims. These tribes are proof of the beauty in our diversity, even though some of them get hostile to protect their territories, cultures, and traditions. We hope these tribes survive for many generations to come. Tell us what you think of these tribes in the comment section below.